my thing. What's up, people? This is your boy Leveled Head back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. We getting things situated and worked out. If you can hear us, put a 1 in the live chat. If you can hear us, put a 1 in the live chat. I just want to know if we coming through loud and clear. We are here. We are ready to go. And we are excited. Mr. Norris, what's good, fella?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Wild and crazy week in video games. Crazy week, but yeah, nothing much, man. How about you?
Oh, it's going good. I'm looking at Phil Spencer over here just piling up dollars. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to get them to buy some of what I sell. Shoot, I need a part of this money. They got money for everybody. But other than that, man, I've been good. You know, glad this weather ain't hits hard enough to make me have to come into work. So we've been surviving and escaping these snow, calls for snow and stuff. So that's been good. That's been good. How about you, Mr. K-Bomb?
Doing good, man. Just staying at home, working. You know, they kind of calm down going into the office.
You ain't gotta do that every time you come in, man.
Bruh, you asked me how I'm doing.
I
gave you an answer. Don't get mad because you don't like the results.
I apologize. Go ahead.
No, man, just enjoying things, man. Doing good.
Okay, all right. But yeah, man, we are here. And am I getting feedback? I heard a little feedback. We are here, and like I said, this is we ain't really talking about much, but we might have a few other topics. Do we got any other topics we're gonna be talking about tonight?
Man, we got this Microsoft to talk about.
We gotta talk about it.
We gotta go.
We literally said we didn't think this would happen, but it unhappened. I'm like, what the world? Anyway, so we here. Like I said, if y'all can hear us, put a 1 in the comment section. I don't even know if that's a real person. I don't know what that is. I see that looks like some spam. So I'm not gonna even worry about that. The computer can't even put words together, so I know you ain't real. But if you're coming in, put a 1 in the comment section, and we're gonna go ahead and open this joint up. It's about to get live. We keep it pretty level, no surprise. Come and listen to the topics busted. Then check out our discussion. Keith Norris and D2K. K-Bump 20 on the MIC. Jet Eye Night all the way in Germany. Leveled Head, you know who that boy is. But it say live and level. Live and level. We on that MIC. Live and level. Live and level. We just talking them games. Live and level. Live and level. Take a seat and listen up, man. Live and level. Live and level. Yeah, we are in here. We are live. We are ready to go. I see Tiger King. What's up? I see Dark Songwriter. We are ready to go. Are y'all ready? Can y'all hear me? Okay, all right. Who else up in here? Mr. Norris is up in this joint? Yeah! Wait, let me stop. But we here. It says, can't listen right now. We'll have to listen to it later. Happy New Year. Wish great things for everyone this year. Take care, everyone, and enjoy the show. Thank you, Tiger King. Thank you for that. So anyway, we are here. We are back. Told y'all we'd be back next week. We had our kickoff for the year last week. If y'all haven't saw that episode, please go back and listen to that particular podcast. But some good things, some crazy things, some unexpected things have taken place since we last talked to one another. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But before we get into all that, I want to know what these guys been gaming on. So let's go on into that because I don't want to take too much time away. Just talking at the beginning. So what you been gaming on? Let's go. Yeah.
All right, I'll go first.
You know what time it is? It's time for What Have You Been Gaming On? Sing it, folks. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. What you been gaming on? 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 Gaming on, gaming on, gaming on. So we gonna come to you, bro. What you been gaming on, bro?
Honestly, I haven't really gamed on much since the last show. I'm trying to think if I did a little Call of Duty, but not much. Call of Duty, but not much. So that's all I was gonna say. I haven't really gamed on much since the last show, but I hope to get some in this weekend.
Okay, all right. Welcome to the show, Raging Banana DK. Welcome to the show. We're glad to see you. Yes, we are live and excited about what's going on in 2022. Do you got that? She said, "What's good, fellas?" Tell her what's up. What's up? She want to know what's. Yeah. So Mr. Norris said he hasn't been gaming on much of anything since we last talked. I understand. We got things we got going, so we can't always game. We can't always touch the controllers like someone I know with the whole show enough face going on, because he definitely got some gaming in this week. He only don't game until when he on vacation. That's when he stopped gaming, Keith. That's when he don't be gaming. This is when he on vacation.
Sound like a little hater, but that's cool.
I'm hating. Anyway, so go ahead, K-Bun. What you been gaming on, bro?
Yeah, so I've been gaming on some the usual. So some of the usual suspects that we've heard me play before. So I've been playing a little bit of the 2K. So still playing that with some of the boys. Playing some of the league games. Been playing some Call of Duty, with your boy Leveled. Every now and then when he finally comes through and hops through the chat, so that's cool. We've been having a little fun doing that. Yeah, man, we stay on it, man.
I know my weeks be crazy, man. Only like Friday be the first time I can really get down with y'all. Sometimes since the break is over, so. But I'm gonna try to get back up on y'all.
It's all good. And I've been playing a new game. I want to go ahead and get to the new game. So I've been trying something new. It's actually it's a game that it's an older game, and it got really good reviews, and so I wanted to test it out, give it a try. I had it for free. PlayStation Plus had it for free, so I've been playing that, and that's a game called many people may know what it is, but it's called XCOM 2, which is a turn-based strategy game, which is it's unique. But I've also been playing a little Civilization 6 on my phone, and so it's kind of the same kind of turn-based type of gameplay. And so I wanted to try XCOM since I had it for free, and then I remembered that the new Marvel game that's coming out this year, the Marvel Midnight Suns, is made by the same people who made Civ 6 and XCOM, and it's going to be the same type of game, the turn-based type of game. So I wanted to give that a try. So I've been gaming on that a lot, trying to get used to it and learn how to actually play the turn-based type military strategy game. So it's pretty cool. I guess turn-based would be similar to the Mario and Rabbit.
Yeah,
I believe it's made in the same in the same way as that is the turn-based type of action.
Yeah. Okay.
And I rather use real military shooters than Mario Rabbids.
This dude,
But anyway, yeah, they're having fun playing it though.
Wrap it up. I don't even get that old out of here. Anyway, so for me, I've been playing this awesome game, this amazing game called Just Dance. Anyway, so I've been playing. I haven't been playing. My daughters have been playing Just Dance, and since I have to turn it on, I consider that part of gaming. We also tried to play Mario Party. I went out and spent basically $100 on some extra Joy-Cons.
Oh.
Cause this game sucks. Cause they don't let you use. I was so upset when I bought the game. I'm thinking I'm gonna be able to pick up my Pro controllers. I got 2 Joy-Cons. Pick up the Pro controllers and we good. No, you can't use the Pro controllers with this game. You gotta have Joy-Cons. So it's absolutely made me mad. I almost took it back, but I bought it from Best Buy. So what's the point? They're just gonna give you the same game again. So anyway, so we didn't play during Christmas because of that. But they've been bugging me about playing this game. And so I decided I'm gonna go ahead and go out here and buy some extra Joy-Cons. So I went out there. They was $79. I was like, bro, why are these things still this high? This is more than a PlayStation 5 controller, a dual sense. So anyway, I bought it, and I also end up, I need to charge them. So I went on and bought a dock, Joy-Con dock for 4 Joy-Con controllers to charge it, which is pretty cool. So I ended up spending, it was gonna come out to $113, but I had a little $10 certificate with Best Buy, so it took it down to $103. So I ended up spending $103 to play Mario Party for 10 minutes because none of us was enjoying ourselves. So I'm a little hot. You know what I'm saying? I'm a little hot because it's a little too difficult. Go ahead.
I said, what was bad about it?
It's confusing. The more it ain't confusing. Let me say it like this. For 6-year-olds who still learning how to read and learning how to play games, it's confusing as heck. So me and my older daughter, Kendall, we know what we doing, but my 6-year-olds don't know what they doing, so it's confusing. And so you trying to read, because there's a whole lot of reading, because it's a Nintendo game. So it's a whole bunch of reading, whole bunch of explaining how to play the game. They don't talk to you. You got to read it. So if you can't read good yet, then, I'm sorry for you, because you ain't finna play this game. Even though it's made for you, you got to know how to read to play it. So it wasn't a fun experience because of that. So we end up putting in Just Dance, and they flailed around, and they had themselves a good old time. And I was like, I just spent $103 to put Just Dance back in my Switch. So that was that. But we're gonna try to get it in on there again. And then I also played, like K-Bump said, I played Call of Duty with them, and I'm getting okay. I'm starting to improve a little bit, I feel like. Yeah, I'm about to say. But anyway, I still be playing.
I'm happy you realized that.
So with that being said, that's what I gamed on this week. I played on Little Kina, Bridge of Spirits. I also played, real quick, what was that? Streets of Rage. I went back and tried out Streets of Rage, man. I see they got some new characters on there that you can buy, so I might end up updating that. But I'm trying to wait on this Ninja Turtles game. I think it's supposed to come out next month, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trying to wait on that, because I like side scroller beat 'em ups. So when that get out, I might buy it on the Switch since I got all these Joy-Cons. Why not? But couldn't find a grip. That was another thing, man. I couldn't find a grip nowhere in my city. I went to Walmart, Best Buy, Target, GameStop is trying to sell you the chargeable grip. I'm like, I don't need the chargeable grip. I just want the $9.99 grip. That's all. They didn't have none in stock nowhere in my city, so I got to order one. But that was my gaming week for this week. I did get to touch the OLED Switch. It was just a Switch with OLED screen. It didn't do nothing for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was it. I really didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really care. I ain't saying it didn't look better. It does, but I want
What's the point?
What's the point? I want the TV experience. I don't play undocked at all. I'm constantly docked. I'm
Right.
not undocked in no moment or time. So I'm looking for the TV experience. But anyway, so that's been my game experience for the week. So we'll move on from there. So let's go ahead and get into our main topic. So y'all see the backdrop. Y'all see the tons and tons of cash just stacking up with Phil Spencer's hand wide open, saying, yeah, we did that. It's money flying over there at Microsoft. They got money to blow for real because they just dropped. In last year, we thought the bombshell was the acquisition of Bethesda, right? We
Right.
didn't
That was
think
a big thing.
that was a big thing. I mean, that was on the Richter scale of Richter scales. We thought this was if we was talking about earthquakes, I don't know what's the highest level of an earthquake? Is it a 7?
0.5 or something. I don't know.
0.5. So we thought Bethesda was like a 0.3, 0.5 or right at a 4. That's what we thought Bethesda was.
Well, the Richter scale does go to 10, but I don't
Does
know
it?
what y'all-
It go to
Yeah.
10? Okay, well, thank you, K-Bump.
No problem, anytime.
Well, I'm trying to see how I want to look. If it's 10, if it's 5, we thought that was a 3.54 on the Richter scale. If the Richter scale goes up to a 10, like Mother K-Bump said, then we thought this was a 7 or an 8, right? We thought Bethesda being bought by Microsoft was up there. People, they are up the ante times 30. I don't know how would you look at this, but these folks bought Activision. They dropped how much? How many billions on Bethesda?
68 billion, I believe,
on
is the.
Bethesda. On Bethesda.
Oh, Bethesda. Oh,
Like six.
let me.
7.6, I think.
Yeah, $7 billion on Bethesda. And they turned around at the top of the year. They ain't even wait to get into the middle. At January 2022, they let us know we dropping $68 billion on Activision. So we got to talk, folks, because Microsoft seems to be trying to buy the whole game. They just trying to buy the whole third party. They just trying to buy everything third party from Sony and Nintendo. They like, y'all ain't finna have, y'all better step y'all first party up, because we buying all this up. This is all us. We taking all this here. So what y'all think, man? I'm gonna start with you, K-Bomb. Then I'm gonna come to you, Keith. What you think about this acquisition? Is it fair?
Is it fair? That's I think it may be a loaded question asking if it's fair. I know for Microsoft it's fair for them. First, what I think about it, right? What I think about the acquisition. So actually, I think this was a major boss move by Microsoft. I mean, this is they just made a comment, I think, about a couple of months ago about how they were taking another glance at their relationship with Activision. You know, because all of the acquisition, all of the issues going on with you know the harassment and sexual harassment cases and the misuse of, I mean, the abuse of the employee. So there's a lot of things going on. So, you know, they were talking about readjusting how they were looking at Activision and reassessing their relationship. I didn't think it meant we just gonna buy them. I didn't think that was the case, but that's a boss move, bro. We don't like how y'all doing things over there, so we just gonna buy y'all. So I think this is bonkers. I was lost my mind when I saw it. I couldn't believe it. And I think Microsoft is making moves for the future, which is huge for them. Is it fair? That was the thing. That was the second part of the question. Uh, I I I want to lean to yes, but this type of move has a momentum shifting um, potential in the gaming sphere, right?
Mm.
Two, like the top selling game every year, and it's usually the top two, or at least two in the top five, is Call of Duty every year. And the fact that it is under Microsoft's umbrella, which means they have the right to do whatever they want to that
IP.
IP, right? And if that means taking it from Sony, then that's something that they can absolutely do. Which they're not really saying that that's what they're going to do, but it's something that they can do, which would have a big like I said, a big reaction from the community when it comes to that type of thing. So I think on the surface right now is fair, but they can do some unfair things with this acquisition. They can do some, especially with if they go the route and start removing some of these titles like Overwatch and Call of Duty and some of these other Blizzard titles, and try and play keep away from Sony, they can really
Yeah.
shift some momentum their way and do some close to antitrust type of things. Because I actually heard people talking about the um, some antitrust laws going on here, and they may actually have to take a look at it. So that's
Keith,
right now. I think
uh,
it's fair, but it may depend on what they do with it.
do this for me, K Bum, because I'm gonna let Keith go. Look up all that comes with this acquisition, like, cause
I
there's
had I
more.
had it. I had it.
Yeah, look that up because there's more than just. There's even some.
Oh, all the Blizzard,
Even that, what's
all
that
the
game y'all named?
studios.
Y'all named a game, a mobile phone game that they also get with this acquisition.
Candy
Yeah,
Crush.
what?
Candy
Yeah, Candy
Crush.
Crush. Yeah, they get
Like,
Candy Crush.
my
They get Candy
lord,
Crush, and
these
that was making in its heyday a million a day.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so let me
It's,
pause. Let me pause. You look up that
okay.
if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Like that.
I'm gonna get all of it.
All right,
Yeah, I get it.
and Keith, you go ahead and share your thoughts on this acquisition that we keep going with this discussion.
So much like K-Bun, much like yourself, my mind was blown after I realized what just happened. I was like, oh man, they bought Activision. And my initial thoughts were they're not gonna money hat this. They're not gonna keep this from the rest of the industry. But listening to what they were saying about how they were talking about we're not gonna remove existing titles means that they definitely are planning to not allow future projects to be on these other consoles or on these other platforms rather. And for me, it's the most logical move from Microsoft. I think it's the most logical move because with like Bethesda, like this, it's going to allow them to have better games that we've been wanting. It's just weird that they'd rather buy the industry as opposed to just make a good game. That's just my bias. That's just not bias, but my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Like I don't,
that's
I
exactly
feel
what's
like they
going
should
on.
have spent that money and made a better game or something, instead of keeping these games. But for Microsoft, and you think about where Microsoft is, you just look at their history. They tried to buy Nintendo. Nintendo laughed at them. So what is the next best thing that they did? They bought Rareware. You know what I mean? They bought them, took them from Nintendo, and thought that was going to hurt Nintendo, and it didn't work. So they kept moving forward, challenged Sony, and then they started taking these, and now they're taking games away from them, thinking that this is going to hurt them. But the truth of the matter is, Microsoft, you made a boss move, but at the end of the day, you didn't do anything with Rareware. But Bethesda, I think you allow them to continue to operate on their own, and Activision, you're probably going to allow them to operate on their own. So if long as Microsoft can get out of the way, I'm not mad at this. But if Microsoft gets in the way and they start messing up your favorite games, then this whole thing was a bust. But $68 billion,
Right.
I can't even fathom $68 billion. And the last thing you said, was it fair? This is business.
Right.
I think they still gotta get approval. I don't know I don't know if it's from the federal government or whatever, but so that they won't look at this as a monopoly.
Right.
So it's not like it's signed, sealed, and delivered. They still got to get approval, and they got to get this looked at before this acquisition goes through. But it's probably more than likely going to go through.
It's going through. This Bill Gates brother is going through. He's like, but I'll release another COVID strand. Try to block me. y'all thought COVID-19 was bad. Block this one and watch for that. No, I'm just messing. Anyway, so I'm answering my own questions. Then we gonna try to dive even deeper into this and get into some speculations. First of all, this is definitely a boss move. That's why when I was putting this graphic together, I was like, I don't know how to really express. So I'm just gonna put Phil Spencer around money because can't nobody, not Sony, not Nintendo, nobody in gaming could do this. Nobody could do a move like this and it not feel like Keith just said, 68 billion, right? And I'm pretty sure, and they just spent $7 billion on Bethesda. I mean, it's mind-boggling. So over the last year, Microsoft has spent close to $76 billion. And I'm pretty sure this probably is a drop in the bucket because they're gonna make it back. But I it's definitely a boss move. I'm blown away at this if it goes through, which I believe it will. Can y'all hear me? Y'all, it sound like I'm.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely a boss move. But I want to say this though before I go to the second part. Is it fair? It's definitely. Let me go and answer that too. It's fair, like you said, Keith. This is business. If you got the money, why not flaunt it? That's what it seemed like with Microsoft saying, look, we've been trying to play by the rules for the last few years. What it also says to me is, yeah, we invested in all them studios, but we don't really trust them studios, so we're gonna go ahead and just start buying top name studios so we can start competing with y'all first party. Cause now this third party is our first party now. But so it really says how much faith do y'all really have in all those development studios that y'all was talking about at the beginning of this generation. It really says y'all don't have no faith in them studios. That's what it says to me. Because you don't go out and spend $76 billion and trust the studios that you already had, that you got almost too many, and you go out and buy Activision, you go out and buy Bethesda, you take that. That tells me whatever you producing in them other studios ain't what it do. And I take it that what Sony was doing and Nintendo being Nintendo and having that strong first party IP, Microsoft was like, look, none of that y'all got on y'all shelves is finna do that. So we going out here and buy Activision. We going to buy Bethesda. And we ain't gonna play fair, but it's business, so you can't get mad. If you can't hang with us, then get out our way. If we can't beat them, buy them. That's what Microsoft is saying. So, but to me, I think what Microsoft is going to do is this stuff is going to be at the very least time exclusive. You're going to be drawn to the Xbox first before a Call of Duty will show up on a Sony platform or a Nintendo platform in the future. I ain't going to say it's going to be exclusive because you ain't spending $75 million and on a product that's on all systems to make it exclusive to yours outright. You're gonna put it somewhere else, but I think it's gonna be time. So I would kind of go back to how they was doing with Square Enix with Lara Croft with Rise of the Tomb Raider. Uh, that was for a year. It'd be a time exclusive. I mean, what a second one. It was a year time exclusive. Then it came to Sony. That's what I think they're gonna start doing. So the first place you can play for a while is gonna be Xbox, and if you want to, and probably PC, and then once they get they feel, then it'll trickle out to Sony and Microsoft, and that's gonna be, man, that's gonna be boss like. Like, okay, now y'all can have y'all turn. We unmade what we want. We got them initial first buyers. Okay, now we'll get y'all money too. So and probably discounted on the Xbox. So it's, because it's been out of years. Call of Duty on the Xbox is $30, but on the PlayStation it's $69. I can see them doing that, and they still making money. It's boss. So my initial take is this is major. This is major. So where else I want to go with this? So is this monopolizing the market? Is Microsoft somewhat monopolizing the market? I started with you first, K-Bum, so I go to Keith on this one, then I come to you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any way to look at it. Any other way to look at it. It's kind of like Disney has everything, ABC, ESPN, Marvel. So and so many other things. I think Microsoft is trying to do the same thing with the video game industry. And excuse me, I think everything here is to support Game Pass, and however Game Pass can evolve. I think that's the whole thing. So it's kind of like, yeah, we own all of this property. We are monopolizing all of this property. You can either, like you were saying, you can either join us or you can kick rocks and go do your own thing. We'll see how successful you are. Good luck with that, basically. So yeah, I definitely think they are, money heading and saying, hey, if you want to play with the big boys, you're gonna have to pony up some money for us. No pun intended. So.
Let me send this shout out to Trigger Man. What's up, bro? What's up? Welcome to the show. I see you in there and you asked the question, does anyone on the panel currently play any Activision game? Yes, yeah. They got me playing Cold War. So if Leveled is playing. If I'm playing Activision, they doing good because I ain't never bought a Call of, well, I won't say that. When I bought my PlayStation 4, it came with Call of Duty, Black Ops. Is that Black Ops 3 or was that Black Ops?
The one that came with it
Advanced Wars 3. Advanced Wars 3.
It was PS4?
Right. It was Advanced
PS4,
Wars.
it might have been Ghost. No, Ghost came with it.
No, the one I had the 3 slashes.
Okay, then that's a black
Advanced Wars
Modern
3?
Warfare 3?
No, the 3 slashes that's not Modern Warfare. 3 slashes, that's Black Ops 3.
Yeah, it was Black Ops 3. So that was the first and only Call of Duty that I've ever played. But I went out and bought.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was good. I actually played that online as well.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm playing Cold War. As K-Bum said, he plays Overwatch, and Keith is playing Vanguard. So yeah, all of us here, in some capacity or another, and I've played Candy Crush a few times. So we have played Activision games on some way or shape or form. So yeah, but yeah, welcome to the show and thank you for the question. K-Bum, is this, and you kind of mentioned it in your opening soliloquy, you kind of put it out there, but let's expand on it. Is this monopolizing the market?
Okay, here's reference. I wanted to give this for reference. Disney bought Fox. You know how much they paid for Fox when Disney bought Fox?
$13 million. I can't.
71 billion.
Oh Lord.
Dang,
This
this
is
is
on the
all.
same scale
Yeah.
as Disney purchasing pretty much all of
So
Fox Studios.
hold up.
Their
Wait
TV
a minute.
shows,
Wait a minute. Hold up.
movies.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you telling me
Mm-hmm.
Call of Duty,
Mm-hmm.
Candy Crush,
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch is bringing
Mm-hmm.
in just as much money as Fox?
Well, you have to understand that video games has passed, I believe, movies in grossing in gross income when it comes to entertainment.
That's
Movies, I
crazy.
mean, games has passed movies.
That's
We
crazy.
and it's passed pretty much all other entertainment.
When you said that, I'm like, I'm thinking, I
Mm-hmm.
forgot they bought, and this is about the same price. Go ahead, though. I interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
71 billion what they pay for Fox, and we thought that was a monopoly too, and they monopolized the well, they got their people back with Marvel, but just the totality of what they got was ridiculous, right? And so, and looking at what Microsoft is doing here, I would say it's a very similar thing, especially when a single company now has the two of the top five highest grossing games are uh, yearly top five in sales games is now under their umbrella. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Um, and I definitely think that it's going to make waves. It's going to do a
Right.
big thing. So, um, I'm not full blown as far as the industry is now garbage and nothing anyone else can do and everyone should bow down to Microsoft. I'm not on that point. I
No.
don't believe that that is the case. Um, and we can have a conversation a little bit later if we want to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
into a
we're
little bit
gonna go there, but
details with that.
yeah,
Um, but I do think on some levels this is a monopoly that they're doing, and they're doing it for a reason. I mean, they are intentional about it. You don't happenstance and spend $68 billion. You have a plan.
right.
You have a plan for
And that,
that. Uh,
and hold up, I was going to answer. Trigger Man made a statement. I
yeah,
was
go
going
ahead.
to, and you kind of hit to it. He said, "Well, it also includes their debt." You're right, but this is Microsoft. They gonna eat all that up. They
Yeah,
Microsoft
yeah,
works in this. Has Microsoft ever been in the red? Only the Xbox division, and they letting Xbox. They spending $67 million, $68 billion, or no, 76 billion for the Xbox division. That means they making so much money in all their
yeah.
other areas that
They can
they
afford to
they they
lose.
trying they trying to bring Xbox up to where it's making these equivalent money. So it's like, okay,
Yeah,
we gonna make you successful. We gonna buy success to make this brand successful. So the debt that they incurred, that's gonna be ate up. They gonna eat that up.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but go
It's
ahead,
gonna get ate up
K1.
with everything else they have at Microsoft. So the point I wanted to get out was a really good point that Keith made, right? And I didn't think about it until Keith made the point. And the point was referencing Microsoft's track record when they absorb these third party studios, and he talked about Rare and some of the other studios that they brought in, especially with the push when they talked about all the studios
I
they
have a
had
take on
when they
that though.
released the Xbox One X, and how it had all these first party games, and we're still like, where they at though? Uh, and so they don't really have a really good track record when it comes to you know uh, um,
Acquire,
absorbing
yeah.
these third parties,
But
these
I got to push
studios,
back on that
and then
though.
producing something of quality,
I got to
right?
push back on
We
that.
got Sea of Thieves, right? We
Right.
got.
I got to
Nah.
push back on that though. With
I'll let you get to it. I'll let you get to it. But it's just it they so the point I want to tie that point to this last point. I'm gonna hand it back to you, Level. I'm gonna tie that point to what I said about them not utilizing the studios properly. I'm gonna tie it back to another point I want to make. Disney is not killing the game just because they bought Fox. right? And they took
Right.
all the IPs and everything they got from it. Disney is killing the game because they're still producing amazing, good to amazing content, and
Yep.
that's why they're killing the game right now. And they're not just, it's like they didn't just buy the. I mean, you can buy the farm, but you still got to get that farm to produce, right? And so Microsoft has the keys to the kingdom right now. They are in the driver's seat. They have the future plan. They have the what they need to make a big splash even for Game Pass now, and even for whatever they produce in the future. They have the upper hand over both Sony and Nintendo. I will
Right.
completely say that. But they still have to produce quality content, quality games, and give people a reason to want to own the system because they don't have a great track record with some of the other studios that they brought in.
Right. Now, for me, with the situation with Rare, Rare, and I guess hindsight is 2020. At the time, yeah, we, especially those who were, Nintendo enthusiasts and was really big Nintendo fans and bought Nintendo products. It was a big loss to see Nintendo not bring Rare on with them, but Nintendo gave them up easy. Like I think it was $200 million they bought Rare from Nintendo. But when you look back on it, Rare wasn't nothing outside of Nintendo. They needed Nintendo to be what they were. And I think that's what happened with Rare. Not having
That's
that
kind of his point,
Nintendo.
though.
Well, no, well,
That kind of plays into the point. Even though you bought the studio, you still got to release good content.
right. Well, this is the difference because they couldn't buy Nintendo. They didn't realize what they was trying to get from Rare was Nintendo. Rare wasn't much outside of Nintendo, whereas Activision is like buying Nintendo. You buying the people who make Call of Duty. You didn't realize that studio needed Nintendo and the quality checks and the people coming in saying, no, fix this, change this, address that, and to get to that Banjo Kazooie that's on level with Mario, and get a Killer Instinct, and to get Jet Force Gemini and Star Fox, whatever that, I forgot that game. That was a good game, but it had a Zelda-like aesthetic, which was Nintendo. Yeah, yeah, Zelda, Star Fox Adventures, which was basically Star Fox in a Zelda world. So you felt that Nintendo magic under the Rare umbrella, and when you took that away, what you lost was and Nintendo. I think Nintendo knew this. Yeah, you could have them, you could have the name, you could have them IPs, but without us, you ain't gonna do. You're not gonna get what we gonna get out of those IP because we know what to do. We know the formula. Well, with Activision, you got it all in one pot. You getting the people who makes the game because they did the same thing I think with Gears of War. They bought Gears of War, but they didn't buy what was it, Frankie? What is his name? Frankie B. Whatever that boy name that created it. Epic. Wasn't it Epic that made Gears of War? Or that what was that boy name? Back
Yeah, I
in the
know
day.
you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. This is a long time ago. But he didn't come along. You bought the IP, and
Right.
but the people who was responsible for the IP, you didn't have them folks. That's why they can't get Perfect Dark off the ground. That's why they can't get
Right.
Banjo Kazooie off the ground. Cause you don't have the people that was responsible for making that game what it was. Well, they got there with Activision. They got that with Bethesda. Now it's basically, and that's why I went back to my statement. They don't have no faith in them studios that they was bragging about at the launch of the PlayStation, the Xbox Series X, Hellblade, what was it? They bought them, and that's about the only game they have shown from all them studios that they was talking about. Is because I think they knew we just throwing all these out here to throw you off until we figure out how we gonna match Sony and I would say Nintendo to a lesser sense, but they directly competing with Sony. And they like, look, we just finna throw money. We finna throw money. We got money. One thing they can't do that we can do, we got money. And this
Cliffy
was the
B. Yeah, it's good.
yeah,
Cliffy
and
B.
this was the perfect storm with all this stuff that came out with Activision. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was leaked out by Microsoft. But anyway, all this information come out about this stuff going on behind the scenes with the studios and the CEO and harassment and sexual harassment and the good old boy. All that happened, and then the next year, Phil Spencer, they called him out. They called him out first. Remember that? It was Phil and Microsoft that called out Activision first. Y'all need to fix this.
Right.
And then
right.
y'all turn around and y'all buy him?
They fixed it all right.
Yeah, so it was very much a chess move. And Keith, you hit it right on the nail. And we're going to go even deeper into the whole situation with what is Microsoft setting up. This is a Game Pass move, but it's even beyond Game Pass. But I'm gonna stick with Game Pass. This further solidifies Game Pass as a viable, as a staying power. Like, they are literally turning Game Pass. They're literally spending money to turn Game Pass into a legit Netflix or legit Disney Plus or HBO Max. Like, by acquiring Bethesda, Activision, now you with your own first parties and all the other studios.
But don't forget them which they pay money for the access to have EA access on Game Pass.
About that. Yeah.
The fact that they have Ubisoft Plus on Game, they have to pay EA money for that. That's not something you just give someone, because EA access costs like $20 $30 a year. And so Microsoft is paying them money to allow Game Pass to utilize EA access.
But see, that's the smart move. That's back end money. I don't think they had to pay up front for that. They paying on the back end.
They probably have to pay up front, and then probably something continuously as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they just.
Well, I'm thinking they like giving. This is my thoughts with buying Bethesda. Microsoft got a lot of money, but let's be real. They look. This is a lot of cheese. This ain't.
It's a lot of cheddar.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Microsoft is $1 trillion company. I don't know. I haven't looked at their Fortune 5 or whatever in a long time. But I think it's safe to say that they worth at least $300-400 bill, right? And over the last year, half a year, we know for a fact they have spent over $70 billion on 2 acquisitions, Bethesda and Activision.
Their revenue, Microsoft's revenue, is $168 billion
a year.
It says that is what their revenue is. I just looked it up.
So how much do they have in
revenue in 2021 was 161. The operating income is 70 billion.
Yeah. So they got a lot of hand.
Total assets is 300 billion.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So I thought they'd be worth about close to 300 billion. So they just spent almost a quarter of what they worth. So, you K-Bomb, you definitely got some plans. You are trying to make Game Pass. This is a game changer move. You are trying to change. You trying to change the what's the word? You trying to literally change the building blocks of how we play games. It's a better word to use. The framework. I don't know what I'm gonna. I have it in my head, but I can't. Infrastructure. You're literally trying to change the infrastructure of gaming to where what I use Stadia, Keith. I'm gonna use Stadia. What Stadia was trying to do, Microsoft finna do it because they had the platform. Game Pass probably finna be everywhere. Game Pass is not just gonna be on the Xbox. Dude, I'm telling you, this is you don't make moves like this. This is a move like you trying to put this everywhere, and what you end up doing is you will change the game to where you force Nintendo and Sony to adapt or get get out evolved. This is a major move. This is a major move, and I bet you this ain't the last one.
We're not gonna speculate. I got some ideas who they could buy that just really change the whole game. I
Go
think
ahead.
y'all probably
It's
know
on
who I'm
you.
talking about too.
Who is that?
Would you want it?
Yeah, go ahead. We in speculation land now.
Take Two.
Who?
They bought Take Two. It's over.
All Take Two.
I don't know if they can afford Take Two.
I don't know.
We didn't think
After
they
this
can
move, they
afford
probably can't. But
Activision. We
they
didn't
would
think.
No,
bought.
just Take Two in general. I don't think they can afford Take Two.
Okay,
I
would you
don't-
say Take Two is more? Okay. Let me take Keith's question because we talked about this when they bought Bethesda. We said
Maybe
we
maybe
said
they
we
can.
don't
Hold on,
think
take
the
that
two
back.
studios we didn't think they could buy. Well, three, because we know they can buy Ubisoft because Ubisoft is trash. Ubisoft would probably want them. Ubisoft probably wish they would buy them.
Please,
Anyway,
please.
yeah, please buy. But anyway, we said EA. We don't think they can buy EA. We said we don't think they can buy Activision, and we said we don't think they can buy Take Two. They just bought Activision,
Yeah,
and I don't believe
that's
Take
true.
Two is as expensive as Activision.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
So
not.
I would say
It's not.
Take Two probably about 10 bill, maybe 12.
You talking about the asset,
Yeah, what Michael?
the
I would
total
think
asset. So their total asset is a five.
so.
Five
Right.
bill.
Five
So
bill.
so you give them okay. So they were
5 bill.
5. You give them. Let's be nice. You give them 8. You buy them out. Plus they walk away with a few billion. Yeah, they can get them. That's what I'm saying. Activision was the one we just was. EA and Activision was the two we was like, it ain't no way. They don't have they just bought one of the pillars.
Yeah.
So-
Wikipedia has Activision's total asset as of 2020 being 23 billion, but that's almost 2 years ago since that number was reported.
Right.
That was about 23 billion.
That's crazy, man. So they basically bought them and then gave them money to walk away with for,
Well, they're probably more now because that was 2 years ago.
So going with that Game Pass, we like I said, let's pause on the Game Pass. Well, let's go on with the Game Pass, and then we'll deal with how is Sony and Microsoft. I mean, how is Sony and Nintendo and other third party companies? How you think they looking at this? We'll deal with that in a second. What does this say about Game Pass? Because we clearly know this is a Game Pass move. K-Bun, what is this saying? What kind of indications should we get from this of what Microsoft is trying to do with Game Pass?
So what I'm getting from this and what they're doing. Well, first of all, I just read some reports and Sony has been being quiet, but not too quiet, but just telling Microsoft that they need to that they are ensured that Microsoft will honor their contracts uh, with this merger. They're fully expecting Microsoft to honor those contracts, which Microsoft did when they bought Bethesda.
They better bring
Deathloop.
back. They
Say
better
what?
bring back. What is that? Resistance, Fallen Men. What is that game?
Resistance, yeah,
They better
Resistance
start
or
working
Killzone.
Killzone and
Res-
Resistance better get some work. They better start. Hey, pronto, get on it now. We need something.
I have to switch to Ubisoft's Call of Duty. Never mind. Nope, ain't gonna happen.
Nah, you ain't doing that.
So, yeah, they're just well, Xbox did keep their contractual agreements when it came to Deathloop being an exclusive, when it came to Ghostwire, I believe what it's called,
Right,
being
yeah,
an
Ghostwire.
exclusive, because both of those were owned by Bethesda. And so I do believe they're going to keep their agreements, but it's just funny that Sony's kind of been like, hey guys, just do the right thing. But what does this mean for Game Pass? Right. So I am fully believing that this is going to put Game Pass as a must own for gamers. It's going to be a must own, a must own. If you are a gamer in any true sense, and you value playing game and enjoying games, they're making Game Pass a must. Like you are going to get FOMO if you don't have Game Pass. If what FOMO people don't know, there's the fear of missing out, right? You're gonna have the fear of missing out if you don't have Game Pass, and it's already working on me. I'm like, well, matter of fact, well, I was looking at Game Pass beforehand. I actually have a 3 month subscription, and I bought that even before this even occurred. So I was looking into Game Pass, and last time we talked, I talked about, wanting to dive into the Xbox and playing some of those games over there with my Game Pass. So with this, and what they're going to do in the future with the Game Pass, it's going to make it a must own. If you're not doing it from an Xbox, then you'll be doing it from a PC. But you're going to be in some way, shape, or form. Everyone is going to be contributing and buying into Game Pass because they're going to have the games that you want to play, and that's kind of
Do you?
how I imagine it.
Well, let me let Keith answer this, and I ask my second question. Keith, what does this inform you, or what does this make you think Microsoft is trying to do with such an acquisition like this with Game Pass?
I mean, the story, the running story with Microsoft is that they don't have that game still, even after Halo's been released and out in the wild, and people have been enjoying it. Same with Forza Horizon 5. So they have games, and they're decent games, but they don't have that killer.
Right.
So since I don't have that killer, I am going to flood you and give you options galore for all price. What is it, like $10, $15 a month? I think it's 15 for me because I have Game Pass. So instead of focusing so hard on trying to give you that game, I'm gonna give you a bunch of games, a bunch of variety that you can, whatever your mood is in, you can switch between whatever you want to play. So for them, it gets them off the hook for a little bit. You know what I mean? But that's all I think it is. And I like you said earlier, this is a Netflix move. They are working toward building a game that, I'm sorry, not a game, but a product that that's going to bring in a lot of people.
Mm.
I don't know who it was. I don't know if it was K1 last week. We were talking about casuals, and I think this is a perfect way to target a casual with making this move. You target somebody who don't want to spend $60 a game, or however much it is, $59.99 a
Yeah,
game for the
yeah.
year. You know what I mean? That's 2 or 3 games where you can just get Game Pass and just play those games that's coming out because Microsoft is making those deals for you. You know what I mean? What's the game? I can see Guardians being on Game Pass at some point. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of why I'm holding off. I'm like, I don't really have to buy this game because the last game I bought, it's now on Game Pass, and that was what's the game we like? Mass Effect.
Okay.
Mass Effect, yeah,
Mass Effect is now
that's
on
true.
Game Pass. The trilogy is
That's
on
true.
Game Pass, but I bought it also. So it's
I
like,
gotta play that. I gotta play Guardians. I still ain't started it yet.
yeah, but I think they're playing the long game. They're giving you availability. You ain't got to wait in line, and you don't have to worry about it being sold out. All you got to do is download it, and you just go from there. So on the front end, it looks like a sweet piece of uh, red velvet cake or something. Like, oh, look at this is delicious, and you don't know that there's a whole bunch of other stuff behind it, but
Mm.
they're giving it to you with that applesauce, I guess, applesauce with the medicine. So
So, adding on to that question, let me bring it back to you, Keith, and then I'll come to you, K Bun, since he. Uh, do you see Game Pass eventually moving into a where you can like Netflix? Netflix is on TVs. Netflix is on uh, Xbox.
Tablets,
Is on tablets. Is
phones,
on. It ain't on Nintendo right now for whatever reason, but it's on
consoles.
Sony. It's on consoles. Do you see these type of moves pointing to Microsoft possibly about to make an attempt to put that platform or that what would you call Game Pass? What is that? On other
Service.
service
So
on
yeah,
other
Service.
platforms. Because I know that back in the day they was talking about some deal with TVs and all that, but or was that Stadia? Anyway, I can see Microsoft doing something like that. Like it's on your phone. You could play it on your well, it's already on your phone. But so you can play anywhere where you have a TV or a system, you can have this service on there. And it's not so much about the Xbox Series X, even though they got that. If you want the bells and whistles, go buy the Xbox Series X or buy a play or a PC or a PlayStation. If let's say they expanded, you want that higher experience with this network, but it is everywhere. Like I can see that as a possibility. Like you playing Call of
yeah,
Duty on your phone via
yeah.
Game
I
Pass.
think so. And they already have it where you can do cloud gaming. I think it's called xCloud, but it don't work as well. And you brought up something about Stadia earlier. It would be smart for them to adapt or buy the Stadia technology because the Stadia technology works.
Okay.
Since they're throwing money around, they might as well go ahead and get that and just call it a day. But they do have xCloud, and I can imagine seeing an xCloud or a Game Pass application. You just click a button and you right into your game with your Xbox controller or whatever Bluetooth controller you want to use. I mean, I would think that would be the whole purpose of that. I don't know about downloading those games to your phone. That they
Okay.
would have to be played in the cloud because it's just the games are just too large.
Right. Right.
But
Right.
yeah, I think that's exactly where Microsoft is headed. And even further with metaverse. I know we
Right.
ain't talked about that
We was.
yet,
I was
but
gonna say that to the end. So because
yeah,
it was not enough information on metaverse to really go ham with it. Got one
yeah,
more before we go there, and then we get out of here. Because like I said, we ain't got to be on here long because it's all we really want to talk about. Because it's the biggest uh, bombshell
Biggest
that we
thing in
have got.
gaming.
So coming to
Yeah.
UK bomb,
Yeah,
and
man.
then I come back to you, Keith. How? Okay, let me ask you two ways. Can Sony and Nintendo respond? How should they respond to this? How should they feel about this? And how can they respond to it? Go ahead.
I did want to quickly touch on the Game Pass going everywhere piece.
Oh yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
I do think Game Pass is going to go everywhere. I think S Cloud is going to be the
Vehicle.
vehicle
Right.
that allows Game Pass to go everywhere because, like you said, you can have it on your phone, you can have it anywhere, and that's what they're putting the majority of their resources on. We saw that in the last E3 or whatever the press conference. Everything was Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. So I really think if they can create this Netflix of gaming, that they're going to position themselves very well for the future and allow S Cloud, which they even have inside their Game Pass. They have you can use Game Pass and X Cloud to play next gen games on your older system. They have that capability. I saw that with only certain games have it, like the show, the baseball game. So you can play the show with next gen graphics on the through Game Pass using xCloud.
Okay.
Much stuff going on, but you can. So I definitely think that this is the long game. That the console isn't the console space isn't where they're going to sink their teeth in, and it's going to be able to make money with this service anywhere. Right? Remember,
Right.
they're a PC company too. So um, the how Sony and Nintendo, right? They're how they should react, how they should feel. Well, they should feel hurt for starters. Losing a cash cow like COD, easy money maker, it's going to hurt. It's going to it's hurt you. It's going to hurt it's going to give the competition a leg up. But how should they respond, right? So I do like what Sony is already doing, which is coming up with their own version of Game Pass. I definitely think that uh, that is something they should be doing. To be completely honest with you guys,
I think it's too
so
late.
You said what?
I honestly think it's too late.
Too late? Nah, it's not too late.
You don't think so?
Nah, it's
Okay.
not. No, no, no. It's not too late. No, no, no. So, to be honest, I bought some of my my Xboxes to do some of those things that my Sony system couldn't, right? Because they had EA access, and Sony would not allow EA access on their system. And so I ended up getting an Xbox, buying an Xbox from a buddy because I wanted to utilize EA access, and so I got an Xbox, right? And so I can see myself doing a similar thing for Game Pass. There's some things over there I want to play, so I'm going to get an Xbox to play it. I'm a gamer first, Sony fan second. So I definitely think Sony should retaliate with their own version of Game Pass, which they're already doing. Um, and if they can absorb some studios as well, they've been doing that too, but nothing on the scale that Microsoft is doing. So I definitely think if Sony has some of that capital and have some of that space, they should make some smart moves. Let me say that, some smart moves, and not just buy company like buy EA. Please don't buy EA. That company is, yeah, you're not gonna make that right just by buying them. But Sony should make some acquisitions on their own, but smart. It doesn't have to be game changing and change the world, but it just has to be smart and just continue to create content. And they have a Game Pass, their own version of Game Pass. And as we kind of said earlier, they may need to look back into their repertoire of games and kind of fill in some of those holes that's going to be missing when Activision Blizzard ultimately goes exclusive, which is the first person shooters, some of um, the Overwatch and some of the other games, the WoW, the MMOs and stuff like that. And they're going to need to replace those with similar games, and they have a repertoire. They have Killzone, they have Resistance, Fall of Man. They have the other games that they made in that space, but they didn't really make any track room because Call of Duty was there in the same spot. But they're gonna have to revisit that, and so they're gonna have to create alternatives, which is one of the things that I have been saying for the longest for Nintendo. I have been saying this for the longest that Nintendo should had a Call of Duty alternative a long time ago.
Well, let me add
Uh,
this. Dark Sun Rider said something, and I tend to agree with him. He said, "Well, it won't hurt Nintendo. We haven't seen Call of Duty since the Wii." And when he put that
I
down,
was
like,
going to use that as my
that
point,
is
but
true. But go
that's
ahead,
funny.
go ahead.
But I have been saying that I think they should have had their own version of Call of Duty on the Nintendo system. They should buy someone and do that. But anyway, that's my opinion. So yeah, that's my thought. That yeah,
Okay,
they can bounce back. It's going to eat into their bottom line. It definitely will. I mean, a move like this should, but they can definitely bounce back and stay strong because they still have quality products that they own that the other companies still can't reproduce.
okay,
And then go same thing for Nintendo. Nintendo has quality products that they produce that the other two cannot produce. The same
okay.
type of quality games.
Right. I agree. Keith, same question.
so the question is, how does
How
Nintendo
how
and
how
Sony?
I rephrase it. My bad. I apologize. How should Nintendo and Sony respond to this, and can they? I think that's how I asked. Is that how I asked the K-ball?
Yeah, it sound about right.
Yeah, and can they respond? How should they and can they?
My ego says they should just let this ride and see what happens. But I
Mm,
know that's not smart business.
it's not
You have
smart. I was just about to say that it's not business works.
Yeah, it's not how business works. You have to be working on something or doing something that's going to give you the attention because that's all it is mind share. And for years, Sony has enjoyed that mind share with games that Microsoft isn't producing. So games like Call of Duty and all these other games does not hurt Sony that way because they still have the mind share, but it's definitely gonna hurt them. Oh, it's definitely gonna hurt them.
Yeah,
Man, not having Call of Duty and all these other games is definitely so. I'm not saying that, but they still have the opportunity with their titles. You still got what's the girl Horizon Zero Dawn 2 coming out, and
Mm-hmm.
they got God of War, the next one coming out, God of War 5, I guess. You got all these games coming out.
Yeah.
Those type of titles will make you forget anything else. I don't care for 30 hours. This is what I'm gonna be playing. 30 to 40 hours. This is what I'm gonna be playing. And the Call of Duty can come out and Overwatch can come out. I'm going to be playing. Not me personally, but the Sony guy is going to be like, I'm going to be playing Horizon Zero Dawn. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Nintendo fans, they have the same type of mind share. It's like, oh, the new Pokemon, which I think that's a new Pokemon. It was so garbage. But anyways, uh, yeah, they got their games. Like, imagine, all of this happened and Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out. I don't care about no Game Pass. I don't care about no Activision. I don't care about no Call of Duty. It's all about Breath of the Wild. So at the end of the day, uh, they really could just, continue pressing forward, but they have to look toward the future. They have to look beyond Switch and PS5 in order for them to actually combat with Microsoft. Otherwise, Microsoft will end up buying the whole industry, and they're gonna have to make all their games, and they're gonna put out like 4 or 5 games a year, like we used to see on the N64,
Mhm.
which is horrible. So, but I don't know specifically what they could do. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I know Nintendo need to start working on that infrastructure, their online presence. Like
Boy.
they really got to start working on that.
Boy.
Like they can't go into the next console thinking that, oh, it's okay, we just pay us $25 and we'll get it right. You didn't get it right the last 2 generations. So no, Sony has a good infrastructure, but what was it, Gaikai or whatever? They're gonna have to make that more palatable or something. They're gonna have to do something to
Yeah,
make more
that
people.
PSN now,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
right? Because
PlayStation
they bought that company to do the PSN now. Yeah, this is the streaming.
So they got stuff in place, but it's not to this level of Microsoft. And then Microsoft keep buying companies, and those companies have your favorite games. You know, I knew a girl. She used to game on the Xbox. Well, she switched from Sony to Xbox, and what did she do? She started loving the Ubisoft games. Now, like you said earlier, they got Ubisoft on deck. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
everybody's flavor of tea. Even though I just talked Sony up, I just talked Nintendo up. That's not everybody's cup of tea. God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Ghost of Tsushima. Those are great games to us, but that's not everybody's cup of tea. We're talking
Es-
about casuals.
Especially when you're talking about the casual. I just had a conversation with a casual gamer, and he was talking about how he just can't play. He actually bought Ghost of Tsushima because of me, and he said,
Mm.
he only has a limited amount of time to play video games, and he doesn't have time to learn combos and all this other stuff to play. And so, yeah,
uh,
it's a waste of money. Yeah, it's probably a
right.
wonderful game, but he doesn't have the time,
Right.
and that's yeah, the casuals and the casuals do run gaming,
Right.
right? They they
So,
they
Well,
they
they
are the biggest shareholders when it comes to gaming. So
right and
yeah,
so with that,
this move definitely is going to impact some of those casual gamers who are actually in love with the Call of Duty series, which like I said is it's 1 and 2 are top five every year. So this is going to have a big impact.
I'm gonna say
you got
this. Go ahead,
they
Keith.
got.
Go ahead. Yeah.
This is my last thought. Nintendo, Sony, they're gonna have to be careful. Just that last little bit of conversation we just had, and just bringing up the casuals. Like I just thought about it. Like they're trying to get quick, fast. What's $15 a month? Whatever they do, Nintendo and Sony, they have to be careful. They can't. It is not even about going big. It's probably about going quick, because people are just wanting something quick to eat. Like you just said, hey, I don't have all that time to be playing that game, so I
Yep.
can just jump in Call of Duty, play a few matches, and jump off.
And jump off exactly.
There may not be a move for them to make. Honestly, this might be checkmate. I'm just saying, this might be
I'm gonna
checkmate. I
let
don't
me
know.
let me jump on this one. So first of all, I think it'll be a unwise move for Sony, especially because I think they need to look at Nintendo and how Nintendo dealt with Sony. Uh, it'd be in my opinion, it'd be an unwise move for Sony to try to match Microsoft by trying to match Game Pass, trying to match because Sony don't have the money to match them. Like they couldn't go out and buy Activision. Realistically, I don't think they can. I could be wrong, but I don't really think they'd be spending their whole wad to buy Activision. Whereas this ain't no sneeze at acquisition by Microsoft, but they got the money to do it. And like you said, the year over, they make this within a year. They'll make all this back just in their normal function. They eat all that back up, and they are consistent because of what they serve. The service that they give is a everyday need. It's not something every human being needs online and Microsoft server. Most of us got a Windows in our house. In some capacity, we dealing with Microsoft, whereas with Sony, not so much. So I don't think they should try to match Microsoft. I think they need to, and K-Bum hit it at the beginning. I think they need to go in where and be like, okay, guys, and maybe it was Keith that said this, and maybe all of us said it. They need to focus on their own IPs and be like, okay, let's sure up. Okay, if we lose Call of Duty, let's create a game that rivals Call of Duty, or that fills that void that we might lose with Call of Duty. I think Sony has the strength to do it. They got strong IPs. They have developed quality first-party titles. That's what's been winning. That's what's been causing them to be on top, because they took Nintendo's formula that Nintendo had to figure out when Sony took all the third party away from them, and we had the GameCube and we had the Wii and the 64, and all we had was first party. We had to explore that first party, and then now all of a sudden now they where they are, where they first party IP is so freaking strong that it is their selling point. Whereas that's the one thing Microsoft does not have, is compelling first-party titles. Keep hitting right on the nose. Once I get God of War 5, I don't care about Call of Duty. I don't care about nothing Activision made. I don't care about nothing Bethesda's making. I'm on that God of War. I'm on that Ratchet and Clank. I'm on that Last of Us. So they got IPs like Resistance. They got IPs like what's the one other one, K-Bum? You named it.
Killzone.
Killzone, which if they put some real for real time in, maybe just let's be real. Let's steal Call of Duty's formula. Forget it. Why? Hey, Sony known for copying and pasting. So let's hey, we can let's steal the formula. Let's figure out their formula. Let's steal it and playing Call of Duty. The casuals love it because it's in and out. You don't have one thing I've learned over this last month and a half, or month, at least a month of playing this Call of Duty with K-Bum and the crew is, Keith, it's a pickup. It's quick. You can get a good 10, 20 minutes in, 2-3 games in. You can go out the door and you ain't invested in nothing because it's really it's no investment other than kill streaks and getting up with your partners and having something to brag about how many kill streaks you had. Or I watched K-Bum go through that one, there another one, and what you want, bow. Okay, you dead. You're dead. You're dead. And that's it. And it ain't nothing invest. It ain't no investment beyond that. And so it's microwave gaming. It's microwave gaming. That's what makes Call of Duty what it is. Whereas, like you said, with a Ghost of Tsushima, you had to invest time in figuring out, right, where you can figure out these guns. You can figure out this gun on your phone. Okay, this gun. So when I come back to Call of Duty, I know I'm finna change this gun to this gun because this gun is better. It's a whole different approach that I'm having to learn, because the way I improve is actual through playing and whereas in that game you got to learn the weapon, and you can learn that on your phone. You don't have to be on the game to figure out what weapons work best, what combination work best. So what I'm saying is, it's such a microwave situation. Microsoft can do that. I mean, Sony can do that. Like, okay, Last of Us. I don't know if y'all remember. People love the online portion of Last of Us.
Yeah, people did.
And I got a boy right now.
It wasn't as big, but yes,
it was. But it was. It had the same formula. The difference was it was third person, which I liked, but it had that fast, quick, fast formula that Call of Duty has. And this one you only can have 4 people rather than 6. I think you only can have 4 on the team. But I used to play that with my boy Dante. He go by King Cooper. I used to play that with him, and got in it just like I got into Call of Duty. So there is ways to address and to fill that void rather than trying to match Game Pass and buying this studio. Sony will wreck themselves if they try to do that. They need to look at what Nintendo did and what they're already doing. And okay, they got that. We gonna make our own. That's why we got Splatoon. We wasn't getting Call of Duty. Nintendo made their own type of Call of Duty. We got Splatoon, and everybody loves Splatoon, and it's Nintendo thing, and it's rocking on their platform, and we all buy the Splatoon every time it come out for the same itch that Call of Duty scratches. So that's what I would do if I was Sony, and Nintendo already undone it. Nintendo, to me, Keith hit it on the nail again, and K-Bum, you did too. Nintendo needs to shore up their infrastructure as far as online quality experience online. Like, I should be able to talk to Keith. I should be able to talk to you, K-Bum. When we playing Splatoon, we shouldn't be talking through Google Hangout and Discord. I shouldn't be able to do that straight through the system. But that's what I think Sony should do, because they can't match wits with Microsoft. They can't do it. They can't box with this one. They can't put on the gloves and get in the boxing ring in this capacity with Microsoft. They can't. Like, Microsoft in this league is heavyweight. Microsoft is lightweight when it comes to first party. That's why they was getting their heads rocked. But in this sense, Sony don't want to box with Microsoft on this. So I think Nintendo would be the template that Sony needs to look at. What did Nintendo do when Sony did the exact same thing to them? It really wasn't, they didn't buy it, but third party rushed over there because of what Sony was offering. They got all that third party flood, and Nintendo was left with Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, and then they figured it out, and now they back to thriving, whether they have third party or not. So that's what I would do if I was Sony in particular. Nintendo, man, just improve your own line and keep doing what you're doing, because you carved out your own lane. You on your own street doing your own thing, and people come over there when they want to come over there. Sony is on the same street as Microsoft. They got to be careful.
They do, because Nintendo they've lived this long without Call of Duty, so there's a world, there's life after Call of Duty.
Right. Send a shout out to SAG MHPB. I think that's how you say that.
Sarge
MHPB. Welcome to the show, Bo. He said Microsoft also got about 5% of search engine market shares with Bing, right? And that's huge business. That's what I was saying. I use Bing almost more than I use Google now. So
you use Bing?
Man, I never. What?
I use
that
Bing.
Garbage.
I do. I use
Ooh,
Bing.
Lord, no wonder. I knew you one of them Bing brothers.
I like Google better, but I use Bing. I don't.
I've tried to use Bing. It gave me some. I'm like, what search results are you giving me? I went right back to Google.
We almost done. So my last question. Now let's say metaverse because I want to talk about that. So let's just say that for next week. We can talk about that next week. I want to ask, okay, we dealt with first like the big two in response to Microsoft. My next question, and we end here, and I'll give this about 10 minutes. We could be out of here in an hour and a half. Perfect time. What does EA and other third parties, how are they looking at this?
Ooh.
Come on with it, Keith.
I'm almost about to pass the cable, but let me see. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they would be looking at this, because I'm looking at it from the executive point of view, and they could be working out a deal. I mean, they already worked out a deal with EA Play on Game Pass. But what does it mean to say, hey, we're just gonna go under Microsoft and allow them to be what our funding? But then you're giving up too much control. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if they should be scared or the employers should be worried, but they got to understand that it's a possibility that Microsoft could be coming. What's the thing that the Planet Eater in Marvel? What's his name?
Galactus.
Goliath. No, that's a Goliath. Galactus. Yeah.
Galactus.
Microsoft could be coming around the corner like Galactus, like give me. So
if one of the execs show up like Silver Surfer scoping out the land, they know to get
right.
Let me say this with Rude Boy Solidus. He says, and welcome to the show. I think that's how you say it. He said a couple of things I want to read. He said, "Don't forget, Microsoft owns the servers Sony use." I didn't know that.
That is true. They made agreement like last 2 years ago, something like that, to utilize their the Azure servers.
And he also said, and K-Bum, I don't know which one you saying good point to, K-Bum, but he said
The Sony server piece.
Okay. Then he said EA is cool with it cause they already sleeping with Microsoft. So okay, that's a good thought too. And eventually, it's like I said. Anyway, so K-Bum, you go ahead. How should EA and other third parties, Ubisoft, Square Enix, like especially the Western companies, maybe not so much the Eastern, but especially like the EAs and the Ubisofts and the Take-Twos, how should they look at what Microsoft is doing with the acquisition of the biggest guy in the room? Well, I think EA might be bigger than Activision, but they like, if you're looking at the front of a building, they kind of the same pillars. I
think I don't think EA's bigger because I believe when you added Blizzard, that made Activision bigger than EA.
Right, I'm
when
thinking. I'm just saying they're about the same though. They're about close.
But Activision Blizzard, because you understand that the impact that WoW has on the PC gaming industry, and that within itself is a beast, because that is the Call of Duty of MMOs.
Yeah, that's true.
WoW is the Call of Duty of MMOs. That is the king. So that's a whole different thing. But anyway, back to your point. I to be honest, I think third parties should be thinking about where the money is, because apparently people are willing to spend money, and so I would think that they would be trying to make deals with either Sony, Microsoft, or Nintendo to see if they can not as far as mergers, but as far as ways to expand their reach and expand and increase their income. I would think that they should be seeking those opportunities, because everyone isn't just going to get bought out just full. But if there's money to be had, these companies are definitely want to get into it. So I definitely, because there's money being spent for the EA access, for Ubisoft Plus. There's definitely money out there being spent for that. So I would think that these companies would be trying to find different ways to make contracts and agreements with the game makers to get even more money. So that's what I would think, because apparently the money's flowing and the river is dripping, and so it's money to be had, and so I would think these companies would be looking for ways to get some of that money.
Okay.
My thought.
Yeah, I asked the question. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they can do. I mean, Keith, like you said, Keith, bruh, like Microsoft coming through like a bulldozer, like, and you, and I want that land right there, and we're gonna put this big mall up. So, I don't know. I don't know what they can do. I don't even know if there's anything they should do, because it really doesn't. This doesn't directly affect them. Because like old boy said, Microsoft and EA already has dealings. They deal with each other already. They got stuff that they work together on and collab on already. So I don't see much changing for them other than probably not being tempted by the bribery that they probably getting to be sold to. Like, hey, anytime y'all want to sell, we over here. Just that's kind of probably like the temptation not to be like, well, come and buy us too. We want out since y'all throwing out money like that. But I don't really see anything they can really do but just keep doing what they doing. So, but I think it is a audacious tidbit of news if this happens, which I do think is. I don't think they'd be announcing it like this if it wasn't pretty much already guaranteed that they're going to be able to do it. They wouldn't have put it out in the public and in the wild like that if they thought it was going to be blocked. So I'm pretty sure they making this with confidence. So it's already pretty much a done deal. I don't see what's going to stop it. They don't have a commissioner that can come in and say, no, y'all can't have KCP. I mean, what's his name? CP3.
Oh, you're talking about Chris Paul.
Chris
Paul.
When the Lakers tried to get Chris Paul, they came in with the quickest. No, y'all can't have him because they own that team. Well, you don't have nothing overseeing gaming like that, so I don't see what the government gonna be like this because it's really it's still too many other companies out there that's still under the third party umbrella to say that this is a monopoly, but it is a lot of power under one roof. But anyway, this has been the live. Go ahead.
I did want to step up real quick. Hold on. Dark Sun Rider just asked a question, and we can answer that very quickly. He just said he knows that the established purchase was $70 billion, and that's a lot of money for COD and WoW. But he was asking, do you think they got a steal with buying those games at that price, since those are huge games? I personally would say I don't think it's a steal. Looking at the fact that Activision itself total assets was about $23 billion. I don't think it was a steal for them to get those studios at that price, because you're getting the IPs and the studios and everything that comes with it. I don't think it was a steal. I think it's a good purchase. I still think maybe they paid a little bit too much, because I think the total asset of Activision Blizzard was probably around maybe 40, and so they still paid a little bit extra, which probably takes care of the debt. But I don't think they got it as a steal. That's my opinion.
What'd you think, Keith? Was you think it's a steal?
Yeah, I agree with K-Bone. I think they probably paid a little bit too much, but that's probably the only thing they can come up with, the only deal they can come up with between each other. But I think they probably could have came down on the purchase a little bit more, honestly. But
yeah,
I think they overpaid to ensure that Activision would take the bait. I think that's what it was. Like, they couldn't refuse that offer. With the debt they probably had, with the situation going on, and like
bad press.
Yeah, bad press. Everything was just bad, and here this they finna offer us and our investors $67 billion. So we walking away good and getting away from this tragedy that opened up, and probably lawsuits that's finna hit. So I think that's what it was. But no, I don't think I wouldn't say they overpaid. I wouldn't say they underpaid. I say if they hit the sweet spot, that's what I would say. For every party, everybody got what they wanted out of it. So with that being said, and Rude Boy hit right what I said. They had to buy out the other shareholders. So so everybody got what they wanted. With that being said, man, we thank y'all for tuning in. Trying to be a little bit more streamlined with these casts, so we're not gonna be taking into the 2-hour marks. An hour and a half is gonna be about what we do. So I'm gonna let my boys sign out, starting with Mr. K-Bum20. Go ahead and sign out, bro.
Yeah, I enjoyed the podcast today. Good conversations. We probably need another cast to talk about some of this casual gamer mindset, and I wouldn't mind probably bring a couple guys at least a guy on the podcast to talk about it. I think that would be a good conversation. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the conversation. I enjoyed the chat. You guys kept it lit, kept it live today. I appreciate you guys coming through and listening to us. And until next time, that was fun.
Absolutely. Mr. Norris.
Oh yeah. Same here. This was some big news, and I'm happy to hear from you guys and your thoughts and opinions about it. And as K-Bun said, the chat and their thoughts and opinions, we really appreciate y'all for coming through. Definitely a good show. Definitely can't wait to hear more from this acquisition, so we can break it even down even further. But yeah, man, great show. Happy New Year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I still said it.
My sentiments as well. Y'all really kept us live in the comments section, man. Y'all was here. This is kind of how we're going to be working, man. This is our approach for the new year. We kind of started cleaning things up last year, kind of finding our identity and how we want to do it. And I think we kind of finding it. And I think it's starting to pay off. So thank y'all for tuning in. Everybody in the comment section, Tiger King, which is going to watch it later, so you'll hear me giving you a shout out. Dark Sun Rider, Rage of Banana, Trigger Man. I like that name, Trigger Man. Who else was in here? It was Surge. I think it's how you say Surgy, Surgeon MX. MHPB. I gotta get your name right, bro. I be feeling bad not saying your name right, but you know we love you, bro. We appreciate you showing up in here. And Rude Boy, thank you all for showing up. Man, help us say your name. Help us say it at some point. Next time you're on, give us the right way to pronounce it so I can say it right. So I don't want to be doing that. And we had Stevenson up in here. Well, I think that's somebody fake. So we got a lot of computer stuff going on in here too well. So anyway,
I reported all those names. So.
All right, cool. So thank y'all for tuning in. We will be back next week where we'll be talking about the casual conversation that we had between me and my boy K-Bum, and then he gonna bring on some maybe one of his casual friends to discuss some stuff about on casual side of things, and maybe hit on that what is that? Some verse, metaverse. So we might talk about that. So anyway, y'all keep looking at Mr. Field with all this money flashing around.
Money.
So we about to get out of here. So thank y'all for tuning in. Till next time, y'all be safe and blessed and highly favored. This is your boy Leatherhead, Keith Norris, K-Bum signing out.